I can still watch you, adore you, and still have a different way of presenting things. You know, instead of saying those black boys need their asses beat, whether they're stealing in a store or beating people up and this and that or whatever. So my take on it, especially someone that has lived in the ghetto, or especially, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to talk to myself because that's the only person that I can address is me, and talk from my experience in the way that I see things. And so it's like it has been far too long for me to not do what has been in my mind and thinking. And, you know, as I continue to live in this world, as I continue to do whatever I'm going to do, headed towards retirement and these things, I was thinking about the different ways to approach things rather than fear-based, rather than the scared straight tactics, rather than the beat you down, bust you in the face, spit on you, and say all the bad things to you thinking that's going to wake you up. When me personally, I know that's not good. I mean, we can walk around and say, don't tell your kids when you discipline them that they're bad. But then again, when it comes to another level of it, another way of talking about it, we do those things. Not we, I have, or, you know, you hear about people that have done those things, as far as bashing people, shaming them, blaming them, etc. And so when I say far too long, it's like, go ahead, apply for the government loans, apply for the donations, whatever's in your head as far as what you want to do to help, or can you help, or not knowing what to do, as opposed to bashing people, as opposed to, yeah, you may know the history of it, you may not know the history of it. You may know there are things that are even out of their control and that was meant to go against them. Okay, so what do you do? Emily, I'm talking to me. What do? You go and you apply for the grants, apply for the loans, get turned down, get turned up, and do what it do. Do what it do. You know, rather than joining in the different conversations and groups to belittle and bash, especially if it plays a part in, I don't know.
This night dozen and real world challenges. This night delving in real world challenges. Okay. Embracing truth, creativity, and real community solutions. Good afternoon, I stand before you with honesty, not pretending that I have all the answers or that I'm beyond criticism. I don't come to preach or control, but to share my own experiences, shaped by years growing up in what many call the ghetto. My words today are my truth, my feelings, and my vision, knowing that not everyone will agree, and that's more than okay. What's most important is that we begin to look at the bigger picture instead of making excuses for problems or deflecting responsibility with not me or it's not my fault. Let's lean into true awareness and accountability for ourselves and for our communities. How can we help without manipulation or excuses? Direct engagement. Go out into our communities and visit hospitals, shelters, youth centers, and schools. Listen, observe, and truly see what people are facing every day. Don't rely on stories from afar or easy assumptions. Get proximate. Be present among those who need support. Yeah. creative thinking. Use art, technology, storytelling, and music to connect with young people and families. Host mural projects, pop-up health fairs, open mic nights for youth voices, and workshops that blend science and real-world challenges. Government loans and grants. Don't just talk about programs. Apply for the funding that can truly make a difference. Make grant proposals that focus on mentorship, trauma-informed care, job training, and educational access. Design budgets so every dollar is clearly tracked and spent exactly where it's needed, and actively invite investigation or audits. Transparency breeds trust. Welcoming oversight. Be open. Let outside organizations or independent reviewers look at how funds are used and how people are treated. This isn't about fear of exposure. It's about proving our commitment to fairness and effectiveness. Work with nurses, social workers, educators, entrepreneurs, and neighbors. No single person or group can do it all. Form coalitions that reach across lines, race, class, age, profession, and leverage everyone's strengths.
Science back. Call to action for young black youth. Good afternoon. Today I stand before you with a message rooted in both compassion and science. A message for our young black children and teenagers who have too often been met with fear tactics and harsh punishments instead of support and opportunity. Who am I speaking to? To the resilient young people in our jails, group homes, and neighborhoods. To those facing challenges not of your making, targeted by punitive systems that fail to see your potential. What do we need? Immediate change. Not tomorrow, not next year, but now. Research consistently shows that scared straight programs and punitive approaches do not reduce crime or improve outcomes for youth. In fact, these tactics can cause more harm, reinforcing trauma and diminishing hope. Where does this change need to happen? In every place you live, learn, and grow. Jails, group homes, and communities there. And everywhere you walk, interventions can begin. Restoration can't take root. Why must we act? Because fear-based tactics are ineffective. Science reveals that they fail to redirect lives. They simply foster anxiety and resentment while pushing our brightest futures further away. Youth deserve evidence-based rehabilitation, not fear. When young people are supported by mentorship, education, mental health care, positive role models, and job training, they thrive. How do we succeed? By investing in community-based programs that address root causes. By reforming the justice system to prioritize restoration over punishment. By promoting positive youth development. By dismantling racist and classist systems. And by educating policymakers and the public about what really works. Every dollar spent on rehabilitation yields hope, resilience, and far more positive outcomes than incarceration ever can. Change is not just possible, it is vital. And it is urgent.